The world is going crazy, and it's getting crazier, and this presidential election is not getting better. Joe Biden's interview Friday with your boy, George, what is his name?
George
Stephanopoulos. I think he's Greek.
Yes.
Yes. During that, it looks like Joe Biden sat down to talk with the journalist and discuss his performance at the debate. That was bad. And the interview, I will say this. Joe Biden looked a lot better in the interview than he did at the debate, but he still looked kind of bad.
Yeah.
So basically, there were a lot of key moments. He basically blamed being tired.
Right.
Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It's a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night.
For the bad debate, he said he was up all night. He was sick. He claimed he had a bad episode. He was feeling terrible. And they were trying to figure out if it was COVID or not.
Excuses.
I mean, he looked like everything he said.
Yeah.
I mean, he
looked like.
Come on now. I mean, let's just call it like it is. We got two, not one, but two.
Dub has 4.
We got two terrible choices for president.
I was about to say eyes.
I mean, this is one of the topics we was talking about over the 4th.
Over the 4th, yeah.
And I wholeheartedly, I cannot give my vote to neither one of these clowns. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you got one that's blatantly, every question that was answered to Trump, he basically just sidestepping and said, so they asked him about January 6th. He was like, January 6th, we had independent energy. January 6th, we was able to get checks in the mail. January 6th, aliens flew over he did everything under the sun through lies, and then all Biden can do is look like he was frozen in time.
But that's been politics forever, though. That's basically the name of that game.
Yeah, but it's really
You don't want to
blatant.
answer something?
It's really blatant, though.
It's very blatant.
And then, like I said, this is one of the main things that I was hitting home. Wherever state that you are in, you know what I'm saying, we're just going to call it like it is. Ever since 2008, when the Supreme Court says it's okay to put however much money into campaigns now. And then
they took that limit off.
Yeah, they took the limit off. Because, before you only could do $1,000 increments.
Exactly.
So this is why they, companies would get employees involved. Now, they just say it doesn't matter. And you got these super PACs and everything. But long story short, when you got billionaires coming out loud and clear, talking and shit, because usually they stay behind, don't make themselves known. But they're coming out basically telling y'all, if people don't see this shit for what it is, if you don't have deep pockets, they're not hearing you. Mm-hmm. You know where they're listening to you at? From the local level, from the towns to the city to the county to the state. That's where you're going to get immediate effect. And I was telling, we had this discussion. One of the main topics was it doesn't matter where the federal law is created. Once the states get hold to it, they're gonna do what they do with it. They're gonna add something. They're gonna add something, take something away to make it fit their constitution. So I gave an example. The example I gave was when Joe Biden created that crime bill. The original crime bill was for violent offenders, those who was in the drug gang that used guns, armed robbery, and stuff like that. They wanted to get the guns out of their hands. What the states did was they got hold to the federal law and said, everybody, it doesn't matter what fucking felony you got, you can't own a gun. Which who that directly affects? Black and brown people. They automatically disarm you. Which they sit here and say the Second Amendment right. Only difference is, don't want the Second Amendment right, don't apply to black and brown people. So now, let's get back to what I'm saying. So I gave that prime example saying that a federal law can be created for the whole country to go by. But once the states get hold to it, each individual state will take something away from it, add something to it to make it fit their state. So, vote local. Vote whether you're a Democrat, independents, Republican, vote local, because those things are going to affect you immediately.
You are correct. In addition to Biden's performance, he also addressed his cognitive abilities and still refuses to take tests to prove his neurological and cognitive reflexes. So,
Have you had the specific cognitive tests, and have you had a neurologist, a specialist, do an examination? Would you be willing to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive tests and release the results to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test. Everything I do. You know, not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world.
he's basically saying he doesn't need to take a test because he exercises his skills every day.
Which he says he takes a cognitive test every day. Which that's a lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Some of us have grandparents, great aunties and stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes things are not sharp as they used to be. You know what I'm saying? That's not saying they don't have it all and everything, but clearly what the whole country and world saw was this man didn't have it all. He was sitting here going against bills that he passed, and he seemed like he reconstructing it. You know what I'm saying? That it didn't happen. So that right there clearly say he didn't have it all.
You know what George Stephanopoulos should have done? He should have like tossed a ball at him to see if he could catch it.
Well, you know, naturally they're gonna say they ain't fair because they gonna be like, all right, he ain't fast enough.
Mr. President, think fast.
Yeah.
Think fast.
I mean, but yeah, you gotta figure this. They're gonna have, you know, secret codes to nuclear codes and this is what I'm all in favor, and this is what every American should be in favor. They should have term limits on every held office. Reason being is because that means nobody gets to sit their ass there, sit pretty for 20, 30 years, take money from special interest groups. You feel what I'm saying? They literally have to get shit done in 4 years. Probably they can do like what presidents do. Only can go run for 2 terms. I think every position should have a term limit. So that means that means we can get back to governing. Because it seems like right now, it's if we now, mind you, now let's get this straight. We all Americans, right? Doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Asian. We're all Americans at the end of the day. If an invading alien or country was trying to invade this country right now, right, you would need every black creed, color, nationality, whatever, to help defend this country. So let's just all keep this in mind. Where is it we lost that we cannot no longer compromise? I thought compromise was a great thing. It seems like nowadays you can't compromise. You compromise with somebody, you're not down with the team. We are same team. We are same country. You feel what I'm saying? We supposed to work as a unit, not kill or be killed. So it seems like this is the reason why term limits is very important, because that means you have to govern. You have to compromise.
You get shit done.
You're not going to get everything what you want. You feel what I'm saying? But we should not be sitting here building this type of animosity with your fellow neighbor, your fellow church member, or your teacher or whoever. We all live in the same town, city, or state. So as Americans, I say that with the S, let's keep this in mind about this election. It's not about race and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? We all gotta live here. So we all gotta keep our eye on a big prize. You know what I'm saying? We got special interest groups, corporations that's growing food, selling food, contaminated food that you eat, that Americans are getting cancer, getting sick from. How all of a sudden we're getting sick from stuff that we're eating from? Other stuff, a lot of these companies that are American companies are putting things in the food to kill us. So we must. The Supreme Court just sat right here, struck down, made sure that all regulation groups don't have the power no more. So we must keep in mind, what is the cause? What's the real cause that we must agree upon?
Exactly.
Look, I mean, if the Lord Almighty came down and said, Joe, get out of the race, I'll get out of the race. The Lord Almighty's not coming down.
And in addition to the final thought on this, Biden heard the talks of other Democrats saying he should drop out, and he said only God Almighty himself can take me out the race. And
which realistically, even
might happen.
Right.
God said,
Yeah,
don't test
yeah.
me.
Test me. Yeah, you might happen now because you ain't far now. Like I said, once you get over 50, goddamn, you got a good 25, maybe 50 years left on this planet. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, he ain't far from it. But realistically, even if he were to get out, it's still too late because who? Everybody gonna rally behind Kamala Harris? No, because she hasn't even been out. They kept her hidden. I forgot she was vice president.
I forgot too.
Only time
I think she did too.
Yeah, only time she came out when it's election time, they want to get her, parade her around to talk about abortion.
Somebody
and stuff
needed
like
to
that.
play Sexy Red in the White House, and it was Kamala.
I'm just saying though. I mean, we all know everybody's not going to rally behind her, and who would be her VP? And it's like how many months before the damn election? It's too late. So
Yeah.
even if they stuck. So
Yeah, they stuck with Biden.
All those who's hollering Biden should have stepped aside. Y'all knew this shit last year. Y'all knew this shit 2 years ago. Y'all knew this shit when he beat Trump the first goddamn time. So I don't want to hear that shit. If we fucking lose, which I'm not a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? I'm a proud independent because it doesn't matter. Both of these. You feel what I'm saying? They're pandering, telling you what you want. So this is the reason why also, last point.
Yes.
I said Trump is getting the recognition getting because, he steals, appropriates, his bolstering how he talk. That's how a black man talk. That's how black men talk when we're in groups and we having a discussion, whether it's sports, politics, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? He just a white man talking like that. Then on top of that, some of the key things that he got done was get 3 Supreme Court justices in there. Evangel Christians got Roe versus Wade turned over. So when you are actually doing something, Joe Biden, you feel what I'm saying? That's the reason why, even though this 34 felonies, who in the hell in the history of American politics, 34 felonies, and he's still leading you? You feel what I'm saying? So
that's how bad of a president Joe Biden.
Right,
is.
you alienated your coalition. Yeah. You didn't deliver shit for the black people. You had one assignment. That was either pass the damn George Floyd bill. You supposed to either got to pass the right to vote, or even the Emmett Till bill. You got 0 done on that. Then on top of that, you sit here alienate the Muslim community. You know what I'm saying? Which they are key battleground states over this, Israeli-Hamas war stuff. You feel what I'm saying? If you would have just showed some type of restraint, put some type of parameters around Israel, feel what I'm saying? We know you couldn't say no. Just put some type of parameters around them, what the fuck they doing, you'd have been all right. You've been pandering so hard, you tripped over your face. We gave you the food on a platter. We gave it to you. All you had to do was eat it. You didn't eat it. You ate around with it. It got cold. And by the time you try to put this microwave, it didn't taste good anymore. And now you want to come back to us and sell us this bullshit like it's for the sake of the country. You should have thought about that when you first got your ass in the door. You knew what it was. You knew. You knew Trump was going to come back. So I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.